Hello everyone and welcome back. In this lecture we'll continue our discussion on indexing time series objects. So far we have created series by using the date range and period methods or functions. In this lecture we'll see how we can create a series object by using the period range function. So let's see an example of how we can do that. So we'll use pandas series method to create the series object, and we'll save it in a variable called period r for period range, and that will be equal to pd.series, and let's call the range function, so range 12, and then let's pass so we'll call the period range function period underscore range, and then let's pass value for our period range function. So let's use a start time of 2016, let's say 12:14. You can use any time that you want, and let's add a timestamp also, let's say 4:15. And for frequency, let's pass 60t for minutes, so that we can preserve our timestamp. So frequency is 60t, and then for periods let's use 12 since we used range 12. Good, let me change the name for our series to period r series. Okay, now if we call our period r series object, we'll see that we have a series. Our index is our date with the timestamp, and the associated value is the number in this range 12. So we started with December 14th, 2016 at 4:15, and then the second index is 5:15, right? Since we're using 60t, 6:15, 7:15, and so on. Now we can check the index of our series object by using the type method. So type, and then our period r series object dot index, and we see that it's of the index for our series object is of type period index. And if we check the value for any of our index objects, let's pass 5, and it's of type period. Similar to what we have seen before, we can also use index slicing to grab any information that we want from our series object. For instance, if I copy our period r series object, we can index it by saying, let's say from 2 to 4, for instance. We have 2 and 3, right? So index 2 we have 6:15, and index 3. Similarly, we can do, let's say, grab every third element. We can do that. So it will grab the first row and then every third row from there, right? So you have the first row and then every third row. So we can apply all those index slicing methods to index our time series objects. Last thing I want to show you is two methods that we can use to handle how we can format dates, whether in European style or American style. So the methods I want to show you are called toDateTime, and then the other one is called strftime. So we use these methods to format our timestamp and show it in a European style or American style. Let's see an example. So let's say we have the following date, May 6, 2016. So how can we show this in a European style? So we can do that by using the toDateTime method. So Pandas has a method known as toDateTime. Let's call the method. You can say pd.toDateTime, and then we'll pass the date, let's say 6/5/2016. So this is the American style, right? So this means June 5th, 2016. But we want to show this in a European style, so that it's May 6, 2016. So what we can do is, once we call the toDateTime method and pass the date, we can pass another attribute known as day first, and we can set that attribute to true. That way it will show the date first, the day first. Run it. Okay, now we have timestamp 2016 May 6, right? So that's how we can use the toDateTime method. Okay, how about the reverse? If we want to show this in American style, we'll call the strftime method. So if I copy this, paste it here, so we can call the strftime method on our timestamp. So strftime, and then we'll pass the format attribute, and then pass whatever format that we want. For instance, we can say %year, right, dash %m, and we can show the date also, %d. So if we run this, we have 2016, the month 05, and then we have the day. So we can show any format that we want. If I want to show just the year and the month, I will pass the year and month in the format attribute, and I will just see the year and the month. Similarly, if I want to see just the day, we can simply pass %d, and we have 06. Okay, that's how we can use the toDateTime and strftime methods to format your timestamp in a European or American style. Great. So just to recap, we saw how we could index time series objects. Similar to any other objects, we can index time series objects, and we can apply index slicing methods to grab specific information from our time series data. Thank you everyone, and see you at the next lecture.